Welcome everyone. Hi, it's me, Lori Lytle, Inner Goddess Tarot. So in my last video, I talked about a tarot spread that has the theme of back to school, but it's really for the perpetual student. So, those of us who consider ourselves perpetual students always wanting to learn new things. So that spread helps you explore any talents that may want to come to the forefront. But now I'm going to talk about a tarot spread that I put together for someone who is actually going back to school in the next few days. So it could be a child who is reluctantly heading back to school, or perhaps happily, but with some concerns on their mind. Doing this spread with a loved one who is actually going back to school can help your child to express any worries that they may have about going back to school, and perhaps inspire a feeling of excitement and possibility for the year ahead. So that sort of leads me slightly to another topic about the whole idea of reading tarot for kids. So I like to do that as long as there's permission from the parents, of course, right? And depending on the age of the child, I think it can be a really fun, playful, and illuminating experience. And of course, I'm mindful of using a deck where the imagery is appropriate and friendly for kids. And like I say, as long as there's permission from the parents, then it can be a really wonderful process. So this can be a spread if your child, that is useful if your child is going back to school, so you can explore what's going on there. Or let's say you are going back to school, right? So you're going back to high school or college or university, or starting just a new training course or a new course of study in some way. This spread can help you explore apprehension, excitement, possibilities, right? So that you can go into that first day of school. Even just saying that first day of school, oh, that brings up nerves, right? Brings back all those butterflies in the stomach, for me anyway. So at the end of the video, I'll include a picture of the layout of the spread. At the end of the video, I'll just pop in that image, but I'll walk you through it quickly just so you get an idea of what's going on here. So the first two cards, that we see in my little drawing here, the first two that we see at the top, the first one is, what am I excited about? What am I nervous about? Right? So sometimes these are kind of faceless or nameless fears or anxieties. So the cards may bring out an image that really clarifies what's going on there, or helps you to understand where any misgiving is, and also any inspiration and excitement. Okay? The next two are, what do I need to know about my teacher? What do I need to know about my friends, right? Because these are especially when you're a kid in school, this, aside from your family and your parents, that's the center of your universe, right? Your teacher, your friends at school, that's your universe a lot of the time. So looking at what might be going on there. The next two cards, what am I really good at? What may be challenging for me? Right? So to look at things that, possible challenges that might come up, maybe it has to do with a particular subject matter that gives some trouble. It may be more on the social side of things or personal side of things. So it's interesting to see what may be challenging so that you can navigate it. And then also what I'm really good at. So something to get you feeling fired up and excited about going back to school. The last card, right at the bottom there, number 7. How can I make the most out of this year at school? And I love those kind of questions. How can I make the most out of something? How can I make the most out of today, out of this year at school, out of the year ahead, or anything, Because really, I think the tarot is so powerful in that way. So not just showing you things that are going to happen that you have no control over, but giving you an idea of how to really grab onto an opportunity and make the most of it. Make it something that can move you closer towards your goals, or make you feel happiness, or make you feel like you've achieved some sort of personal growth, right? So that last question can be really important. How can I make the most out of this year at school? It may identify possible challenges that need to be overcome, or it may be showing resources or opportunities to be on the lookout for, right? So let's see. I put my cards over here. Let me grab them. Okay. So I'm not going to go through the whole spread. I'd like you to try it out yourself, but let's pull one card just for an example and see what might be going on there. So I'm doing this for, I'm not going back to school myself personally. So let's do this for an imaginary client and think, how about, I'm going to pull a card for that. What may be, what am I really good at and what may be challenging? So I'll pull two. Okay. Okay, nice. All right. So you can tell me in the comments what you think about these cards as well. But the one that I pulled for what am I really good at? Okay, so school looks like it's going to be interesting this year. Maybe some budding romance. So you may be good this year at building up those personal relationships, maybe showing a first love or a nice romantic situation there. So I won't go too far into that, but I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Looks like the opportunity to me for first love, but also on, you know, it can be just also the idea of building friendships and of relationships being important, or that that's something that's working for you, friendship and building up relationships and hinting at some romance there. And then the other one, what may be challenging for me? So isn't that interesting? The Hanged Man. So this may be someone, you know, this makes me feel like it could be a student who maybe, you know, there's something going on where they feel blocked, where they feel like things aren't moving quickly enough for them. Maybe they're not in the right class. Like if we're talking about, you know, elementary school or high school here or something, maybe they're in a course that's not challenging enough for them and they feel like they're sort of hanging back and waiting for the permission or the opportunity to move forward. So that may be something that's worth looking at. You know, are they in the right course? Are they in the right class? Are they the right teacher? Are they in the right stream, sort of thing? You know, or have they somehow been put in a position that isn't quite ideal, that may hold them back a little bit, or may hang them up? And also there may be a feeling here of, you know, a student, makes me think of a student who's a really strong and independent learner, and then being in this position is being frustrated that you have to follow the pace of the teacher or the pace of the course when you just want to get to the what you want to get to, right? So it could be learning how to work within that kind of system as well. Yeah. So you tell me what you think about those cards. How would you interpret them? And please try out the spread. You know, if you're going back to school, try it out for yourself. If you have a family member, a young family member maybe, or an older family member who's just going back to school and all those feelings resurface, try it out and let me know how it works for you. Because this time of year, you know, it's such a lovely September. We're almost in September. It's such a lovely time of year. For me, it really feels like new beginnings, even more so than, you know, the actual new year. Because September to me is like, oh wow, going back to school, starting a new phase of life, starting to dream about what we want to achieve in the year, right? As we move into the autumn and the more reflective kind of introspective winter time. So enjoy that back to school feeling, whether you are actually going back to school or not, or if someone in your life is going back to school, then help them feel that anticipation and excitement, and use your cards to perhaps help them navigate any feelings of anxiety or worry about the year ahead. Great. Oh, and as I said, my previous video, take a look at that one. It has a spread if you're just a perpetual student rather than literally going back to school. Thanks. Bye.